Growing up, I always knew Christmas was coming when I walked into my grandma's house and smelled her peppernut cookies baking. Just the other day when I was there, I had that same reminiscent smell coming throughout the whole house. And I'm so excited to share the recipe with you today. Peppernuts are a small cookie that to me are perfect with coffee or tea. There's a lot of different recipes and variations on how to make them. Some people make them as small as the diameter of a pencil. Mine are definitely a little bit bigger, but so simple and so delicious. To start, you need 1 cup of lard. I know in today's baking, lard is very unconventional, but it gives these peppernut cookies a distinct flavor, so I really recommend you use lard. I'm now adding 1 cup of full flavor molasses. I love molasses around the holidays. I mix just to incorporate the lard and molasses. Now I'm going to add 2 cups of sugar. Now I'm going to crack an egg into a small bowl and then add it to the mixer running. The predominant flavor in these cookies is anise. It's important not to use anise flavoring, but only anise oil extract. It's completely different, and you'll be glad you spent the money on the difference. I'm using 1/4 teaspoon of the oil. It's extremely potent and it will give it the perfect amount of flavor. After the anise oil, I'm adding 2 teaspoons of baking soda and 1/2 cup of sour milk. When a recipe calls for sour milk, all it means is vinegar and milk. For a 1/2 cup, I add 1 tablespoon of vinegar and fill up till the cup reaches a 1/2 cup marker with milk. Now I'm going to add 6 cups of flour, 1 cup at a time with the mixer on low speed, letting in between each cup the flour fully incorporate. Once the dough is complete, you want to turn it out onto your counter or a rolling pad like I'm using. The cookies go together really quick. The time-consuming part's coming up. Just bring the dough together so it's one cohesive mass. You don't really need to knead it hard, you just want it to be uniform. Working in small sections, I'm taking some of the dough and starting to roll it into a long log. I like to roll them into about 11-inch logs. That way they fit on my sheet pan perfectly. The diameter you make your log is the diameter that your cookies are going to be, because once the log is chilled, you'll cut the cookies and then bake them. You'll get about 15 to 20 logs depending on the diameter you make each one. After you have them completed, you want to chill them overnight. You want them to be fully chilled because as you cut them, the cookie will squish too much if it's not chilled. The cookies have been chilling and I pulled them out and we're going to start cutting them and putting them on the baking sheet. If your logs seem a little bit disformed, you can quickly re-roll them and make sure they're an even circle. I'm cutting them about 1/4 inch thick and putting them on a silicone-lined baking sheet. I always lovingly think of Grandma cutting each one of these every year as she made her hundreds and hundreds of these little delicate cookies. Once your pan is full, you want to place in a 350-degree oven for 10 to 12 minutes. You'll see the cookies puff up slightly and get a little bit golden brown. Then you'll know they're done. The cookies have been baking for 12 minutes and they're ready to come off the pan. I let them cool on the pan for about 2 minutes after I took them out of the oven. I just scrape them off. There's no reason to make them come off really nicely each one by one. So take them all and just swap them off onto a cooling sheet. Once the cookies are cooled, you can put them in a bowl, serve them, or keep them for yourself in an airtight container in the freezer for up to a month. You may not make as many gallons as my grandma, but I think you're going to love these during the holidays.